Ever since God created the first human being, and throughout the course of history, He has created the world in the form of a place where two negative forces fight. There have been messengers and righteous believers who have preached the true faith of God at all the times and in all societies. On the other hand, leading deniers engaged in propagandizing irreligiousness have waged a ruthless struggle against the true faith. This is a law of God He revealed in the Quran. The power of these two negative forces in the end times will be one of the most striking phenomena in history. God has charged the blessed Mahdi with bringing the moral values of Islam to prevail over the whole world in the end times, which will take place shortly before the last day. The Mahdi, who assumes such an honorable and glorious responsibility, awaited with hope and enthusiasm by the Islamic world for 14 centuries, will of course be opposed by a powerful negative force that will pave the way for the greatness of this task. That force, created by God in direct opposition to the Mahdi, is the Dajjal, the Antichrist. In order for the Mahdi to appear, and as part of the task that is the law of God, there must be various instruments to cause a climate of degeneration to arise in the end times, and denial and irreligiousness must spread. These special negative forces created in order for the Mahdi to appear undertook very special tasks in the 20th and 21st centuries in order to turn people away from the way of God. The main source of this is Darwinism, which represents the basis of all the intellectual systems of the Dajjal and is the worst deception of the century. Darwin is one of the greatest representatives of the system of the Dajjal in the end times. But Darwin emerged with the weakest atheist belief that a human mind can conceive of. So much so that it depends on an exceedingly rotten logic that could be demolished by the slightest puff of wind. This system was specially created for the emergence of the Mahdi. The reason why it is so wide-ranging is for people to see how easy it is to fall captive to Satan and how easily the system of Mahdi will tear the other system down. This is a system that blessed Mahdi will demolish with a single breath. Darwinists never expected to one day be confronted by 100 million fossils that totally discredited their theory. They never anticipated scientific proof of the fact that it is impossible for proteins to form by chance. They never foresaw the fact that there are no intermediate forms would eventually come out. They never admitted the slightest possibility that all the fossils heralded as transitional forms were actually perfectly formed extinct organisms, or that the whole world would learn that the skulls depicted as proof of evolution were false. Darwinists are currently literally in a state of shock. They never expected this fallacy they disseminated across the world to be obliterated so quickly and easily. This atheist nonsense imposed on vast sections of society, Darwinism in other words, has indeed come to an end. This lie that deceived the entire humanity was specially created for the blessed Mahdi to combat, and has been equally specially eradicated. It is Almighty God, the certain creator of all things, who has both created and destroyed it. He reveals this truth in a verse as follows: I seek the protection of Allah from the rejected Satan, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. It is not ye who slew them, it was Allah. When thou threwest a handful of dust, it was not their act, but Allah's, in order that He might test the believers by a gracious trial from Himself. For Allah is He who heareth and knoweth all things. Surat Al-Anfal, verse 17.